Wow, it's sunny again. Anyway, I hope you all had a fantastic May bank holiday weekend. Last week, I just took a week off and just continued doing the garden because it was just gorgeous weather. Today, in fact, started all miserable and I thought, right, I've got a job for indoors. And then it's like this again, but I'm going to do that. We'll talk about that shortly. I just wanted to give you a very quick tour of where I left things off last week or the week before. And it was a race against time and the weather with that wood chipper because it had to go back. So over there you can see we've had bonfires. We've set up a little barbecue station. And over here, let me show you the wood chippings down. Oh, and yeah, and more polytunnel stuff. Totally forgot about that. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. I'm very impressed. We have had the odd thistle come through the edge of the bed and the chip-ins. That's the reason I put all of this weed control down, because it was a very thistly area. But so far, so good. I don't think I've had to replace any vegetables in here. I've kept the flimsy net for now. It is working. It's just a two-person job to get it over and trap it down. Lettuces are thriving. I've put some nasturtiums in between just in case, because the odd one is getting nibbled. And I've not seen any slug damage that I know. I've seen the odd slug trying to get in. I will do some bear traps soon. Anyway, bathtubs. We've filled more bathtubs that we found dotted around. These were pony troughs. Thank you, Hans. I've got carrots, French dwarf beans growing. Sweet corns are in there now. Oh yeah, and mange too. And runner beans in the pots over there with some trellis temporarily. And look, more wood chippings. All the green waste is gone in tubs. I still have the compost left that I bought. Got a few there. And where I'm standing right now, last time I saw you, there was a big pile of branches that we were taking into the wood chipper. Anything like chunky logs are over in here. Those are the chippings we've got left, but look what Mr. TCD's been doing with his chainsaw. He's been very busy. So he's been cutting them all, stacking them, but we do need a log splitter soon so we can chop them up, stack them properly and get them seasoning quicker on little ones down there. I think I've caught you up to date. Oh, because I've thinned out all of the tomato seedlings, it still looks as full as ever. I'm not showing you in there. We've got the wood chippings between all of the beds, but really we could do with some edging to define the boundary of the road area there. But it'll do for now. Oh yeah, before I go to the house, all of that scrap metal, completely gone. We had somebody collect that. But anything that we thought was precious, like the antique headboard, I've kept behind. I wasn't giving that away because I think that'd be cool to restore. So let's go into the house now and I'll talk about this week's project. And that starts in the living room / dining room. And it's this 80s brickwork. So I've been umming and ahhing whether I like it or don't like it. I think it is more on the data side, this brickwork. It's not structural. And it's got these cubby holes, which if you remember when we first moved in, I did find droppings on here. And we filled them with instant mortar from a tube, about a couple of pounds each. I thought the mice were going up here into the attic. But later on as I've gone on, I've realised, well, they can't have done, because we know that the ceiling's been plasterboarded and then the brickwork's been put in various places. If you get closer as well, you can also see the gap between the top of the bricks and the ceiling. So we know that's not structural. This is not going to help. That's Hans's tool. Let me just get rid of this. And if you remember or not, it also wraps around into the dining room. And you've got cubby holes here as well. And there's two main reasons I want to get rid of it. First of all, I want to put some hardwood flooring down. And I think personally it's going to be an absolute mare getting it up to the brickwork and get it looking tidy. I'd have to scribe it, make it look nice, try and add some trim. So that's one reason I want to get rid of it. The other reason is we want a bigger fire in here. In the very early days, we were using it, filling it with coal. And for the size of this room and the size of that small size, which is smaller than the one that we had on the narrowboat, it does nothing, absolutely nothing. I used to have to sit right close up to it just to feel any benefit, which was almost zero. So I've actually had a couple of quotes from fire companies to create a larger space for a bigger fire. Maybe have a two-way fire as well, so have another hole on this side. So hopefully we can heat two rooms at the same time. And both of them said that they'd have to remove some of the brickwork anyway, just to see what they're dealing with behind. So why not remove the brickwork myself to reduce the cost by at least half, hopefully, then I might get a better idea of what I'm dealing with. Then I could ring my dad to see if he can guide me through putting a lintel further up and maybe on the other side. Also, I like the idea of reusing some of these bricks and then later dotting and dabbing this wall, which looks like browning there. Oh, and I can see breeze box there. In fact, this has been done after this has gone up. Oh, and then I can cove this as well later. I just want to get rid of a couple of things because I know this is going to be really dusty. I've got rid of most, but dog bed is going and I'll take the dog food bowl out. So for this job, I'm going to be starting at the top so I've got more control of where the bricks fall down. Nothing goes on my head. And I'm going to be using my platform and a hammer drill. And I've got a bolster type of chisel on it. You tell me what it's really called, I can never remember. Also, I had a mask somewhere. Alright, I'll start with this one. Oh, that is moving very easily. But of course, I speak too soon. The top row felt jammed in. God, it's feeling hard. And with the heat up there, it was harder than I anticipated. Quickly realised I just can't. Whew. I think the hardest bit is going to be the top, just to try and get one out so I can get my hand in. I continue to try chiselling at the top mortar joins. Come on, you bugger. But I had to change tactic and focus on the lower ones to get in. I just want one. Just want one brick out. So I'm changing to a smaller drill bit first. It's hard because it's hot. Oh, do you see that? This is coming out. Come on, you bugger. Ow! Knuckle scraping. Yay! Hopefully the rest will be easier. Now that's out, there was more wiggle room to free any adjoining bricks. I'm going to get rid of this one now. Get rid of that one, that can drop. Hope I can pull that. Yay. Right, so yeah. So I see a wooden lintel of some sort. Now that brickwork definitely looks structural to me there. And then some webbing for the plaster. And obviously breeze block. Now I don't want to use up all my battery power on silly things, so oh god, this is tough. This is going to be heavy, this one. The heavier ones are probably harder because I've got to have better core strength lifting them, and my core strength isn't the best. Jesus Christ. Well, wasn't expecting that. Gotcha. Oh, nice. I like the easier ones. That was easier than expected. Did I take that? Oh, we've gained 15 centimetres or something. Once the top row was done in the recess, I started working on the chimney breast. Again, more fighting because I didn't want to damage the plasterboard ceiling. We are slowly getting there, and I'm having to use a mix of batteries and crowbars. There's a lot of putting the tool down, finding it's not coming out, picking them up again. I'm glad that worked. That needs a bit of work. Okay. Now the top layer is out, almost. It's so much easier to get the next layers out. Oh, thank for that. We also finally found this is where the mice had been getting in between the walls and into the cubby holes. Very nice. So I'm now in the dining room, and this is the room. I wish I'd done this first because I installed this plasterboard just before Christmas and I struggled to get it behind this brickwork. Hopefully we can cover that with coving if it's too bad. So one a new day, and this is where we've got up to. We stopped to a certain point until our batteries died and it got to 6 p.m. and we didn't want to make too much noise, but we've also created a lot of mess. So we're sorting out the mortar rubble, trying to chip it off the bricks because obviously we need to sort this out now before we make even more piles. And if we go round, I thought I'd show you what this looks like as well. Again, more bricks. And then we've got this bit where I did put new plasterboard. So hopefully I can probably put a tiny piece there and put some more jointing tape on. I might just do that. And once it's all off, we'll start looking at dotting and dabbing this section. I don't think we'll do anything with the chimney breast until we absolutely know what is going on with the fire. So I've got my goggles so I don't get any mortar bits going in my eyes. But right now, I need to chip off some of the mortar to sort them in sizes outside. Wait, so I can't find my big bolster chisel set. So while I've got a new set coming in delivery today, I'm using a tiny one and just removing what I can to make it a little bit easier. By removing all this now, we should be able to stack them a lot easier outside. Waste not, want not. Right, a million more to go. It's nice when I don't have anything to chip off. I'll have more of those, thanks. Anyway, you get the idea. I just wish I was doing this outside where it's nice and sunny, but it might be too loud for people. Now, I know what you're thinking. I could use a clubber hammer instead to try and whack the mortar off, but this is what happens. Look what's just arrived, just in time. A set of these. So I am going to try and race through them. So much better. Right, enough of that. Let's get cracking. Okay, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. This is where we're up to. I've gone to the bottom row and I'll get rid of that later. In fact, something I think is quite interesting is we've got normal bricks here and then a full breeze block. I don't know the reasons for that. Anyway, this is where we're up to here. And we've got rid of quite a bit, but I'm not picking up the camera as much because it's boring. And obviously, we've had to make it a lot worse in order to get it better. And we've been taking it in turns. Mr. TCD's been chiseling away at these, and I've been cleaning up the bricks and vice versa. And then, listen to this. We just keep stopping to sweep it all into rubble bags, which I'm glad I picked up early today because it's making a lot of mess. And I expect to get maybe 20 rubble bags full by the end of this. And I might even just reuse this as hardcore for some drives for tractors or stuff later down the line. Another method we're preferring right now is to try and chisel as much of the mortar as we go off the top, not just get them off. But yeah, this is probably taking equally just as long as this. And then we've been stacking them outside. In fact, shall I quickly show you? There's a lot of weightlifting in this job, but we're trying to tidy it up as we go and stack them out here. In fact, let me know, what would you use this for? I'm thinking of a barbecue, maybe path edgings. I'm not entirely sure yet because they're all different sizes. So yeah, we've got them as neatly stacked up as we can. No mortar on these. Obviously that's taken quite a while. In fact, ignore those. But most of them are all right. So yeah, I'm going to carry on. But look at this sunshine. It's a shame that we weren't doing this on a cold, rainy day. But my veg wouldn't be growing otherwise. And I did eat some pak choy earlier in a salad. Win-win. Also something quite interesting. The further we go down to remove the bricks, the tougher the mortar is. Also, you might be wondering why I'm not using a club hammer to remove them in one blow. I want to keep the bricks intact as much as possible for future projects. Right, I don't know what I actually showed you last time, but this is again where we're at. We are struggling to get the last row of bricks that are really bedded down. So just in case, we've got our jigger pick. I can't remember the term for this actually, but I used it years ago for my gravel driveway to break. It's a concrete breaker, of course. It breaks concrete. So I only want to use it between the bricks where the mortar is. I do not want to break this concrete floor. We managed to get one out, and you can see that the skirting board was put in before. We will be taking all these skirting boards off at a later date and renewing everything. So we'll be doing that bottom row and the one round here. But first of all, I want to tackle this fireplace. Come and look at this. So I've got some rebar here that was acting as a lintel. It did look a little bit saggy, I thought, in general. So I don't know how good a job that did. But anyway, it's gone now. And then we'll be having a go at removing this and, yeah, probably these bricks. Because I don't want to mess about putting flooring against this and trying to get a trim tidy. And by the way, we are aching all over. I found muscles I didn't realise I had. Whoa. Right. Warm-ups. Oh yeah, and most of the rubble has gone into 19 rubble bags. We've got one left. Really don't know if we've got enough. Hopefully we don't have to buy some more. Come on, go into the garden, see your mates. Come on, go to the garden, go to the paddock. Go on, boy. Good lad, see you in a bit. Oh, I'm just going to do that. Oh, disappointing. I saw that. Nice. I found a pry bar made much easy work of awkward bricks closer to ground level. Right, got some clean up to do again. Forever cleaning up. Oh yes. Nice. No, I'm ruining brick there. Right, I'm in business now. I got sick of using the hammer drill for awkward places. I'm moving on to the concrete breaker. Nice. I made a bit of a mess. It turns out when I was using the concrete breaker for the bottom bricks, it just broke the hearth anyway, but made a job easier for myself. So now I'm just gonna break it up any which way. It looks like it's all made of bricks and obviously tiles. Definitely don't have a rubble bag for all this now. I think Mr. TCD can sort this out while I start editing the video. I just want to say the weather has completely changed and I'm cold now. Anyway, doesn't really look like that much in a pile, but we had to do a lot of mortar chipping and we've got all of these bags full of the mortar. We managed to fit the hearth in there and we've had to order some more bags which have arrived now so we can fill the rest of it. So this is what it's looking like now. We've gained a little bit more room. It does feel wider in here, definitely. Obviously the hearth is a different level to the fire, but I can't really worry about that now until we know what fire is exactly going in, which leads me to talk about this. So for a more appropriate fire to heat a larger room like this, an open plan one, more like a 10 kilowatt, we need the opening to be much wider. And there's bricks along the side here and here, and now we need to work out whether this is structural, whether we can open it out, and then figure out where to put the lintel. So I do think we probably need to have a word with the fire companies. Maybe they can tell us where it needs to go first and they just come in and fit it. Maybe I do need to fit some bricks up there to reduce the air gap that we've got before we have this plastered. We have been told as well that with a bigger fire, we require ventilation, an air vent, a brick vent somewhere over here. But what I want to do now to just investigate is pull off this fire or plasterboard stuff. I'm just going to get a mask and some gloves on. So I'm going to get rid of this first. Let's pull it out so we can get an idea what's up there. I'm half expecting to find a dead bird. Found some twigs. Twig. And when we have a new chimney liner as well, I think it'd definitely be good to have a little net above the chimney just to stop any birds falling through. It's full of rubbish. Oh, God, I freaked out then. I thought it was a bird. I'm just going to put that in here. I keep thinking I'm going to get... Oh, God, I keep freaking out every time something falls. But looking here, I just want to know whether there's any support behind here, because if there isn't, I can make this a bit wider. Well, I think the next thing to do is ask my dad, because he's definitely done this a few times, and whether we are going to knock it all the way through for a two-way fire. Do you think that's a good idea? How would you deal with this? Anyway, there's clearly lots of things that I need to do my research on, and we also want a fire with a back boiler. Do they even exist anymore? We've been told several times no. It'd be great to actually not only heat the room, but heat our water. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that one, and hopefully I'll see you in the comments while I get back to clearing the last of this mess. Catch you in the next one. Bye.